appreciate you. Here on a scorching Saturday afternoon in Springdale, Arkansas.
Yeah, these players got a little bit of a taste for it. The Heat, when they went to take that picture before their warm-ups. A little bit of an introduction to what could impact this match. We talk about how much both of these teams love to run, but this isn't really the kind of conditions that are suitable for that, so it'll be an interesting way that this match turns out.
I do believe the USVI have rotated their squad pretty heavily here.
Yeah, you'd expect that. Playing 2 matches back-to-back is already a difficult enough task, and then to have to play a third less than 48 hours later.
Underway here in Springdale, Arkansas. Wyatt Marksberry is fouled by Rodriguez. The 2 up top for Ozark United were really the 2 difference makers in Wyatt Marksberry and Aukelele Campbell. This is up ahead to Marksberry. Marksberry trying to get on the end of this one. He's able to turn it in and to the back post, headed out over the end for an early Ozark United corner.
I believe that's Jett Blascka again, who has played nearly every minute so far this week.
It was taken quickly by Isiah Fonseca, who wears the captain's armband for Ozark United. CJ Salinas tried to work that one in, and it is booted out into a pinball game of cars in the parking lot.
Rakeem Joseph does look like he is out there as well for U.S. Virgin Islands, wearing the number 9 shirt, needing 1 goal to tie for the Golden Boot race.
This one out again. It will stay with Ozark. Oh, are they called an offsides there? I don't think anyone saw it except for the 2 officials, so we will head back the other way.
Love the USVI blue kits, by the way. We haven't gotten to see them very much.
Very, very sharp. Up ahead, here's Joseph on the right wing. And he is dispossessed by Giovanni Puga. Little pocket of United States Virgin Island fans here in attendance. And rightfully so. The shade is the most crowded area.
Yeah, there's about 5 rows of space that are completely full because that's just about the only shade there is.
Metal bleachers as well. Long throw from Blascka, and the keeper, Wesley Gebhart, comes out off of his line to grab that one.
That's bold keeping from such a young goalkeeper to get right into the mix with grown players of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Speaking of just the Heat, if you look out towards the 2 benches, they've got tents up for the substitutes, and there's about 12 or 13 people piled under one small little tent there on
be very cozy.
On the USVI side. Staying out of this hot Arkansas sun. Tino Lee on the throw in. I believe his high school team is in attendance, the Southside Mavericks. A lot of people walked in wearing Southside soccer shirts.
Ozark United had a little setup downstairs with a desk and some more information about this club that is going to debut at the senior level in a couple years.
Looking for Joseph up the right wing. Joseph pulling it, edge of the area, puts it on the left foot. And looking for a cross, but
I think that Ramos might have been called for a foul away from the ball.
Did not fully see what the play was.
Yeah, I think Ramos was trying to get position in the center of the box, and I think he tugged on an Ozark United jersey to do so. Ended up working out anyways.
Long throw coming in for Ramos. Throw up and cleared away. Another player we were really impressed with was Brandon Lawson. Here's Wyatt Marksberry on the right wing. Looking for Aukelele Campbell up ahead. On the right foot, and he is taken down outside of the box, and that'll be a free kick in a very dangerous area, and I believe a yellow card.
Yeah, that's the right call. That is a yellow all day with the amount of space that the Ozark United number 10 had. This is a really good opportunity to whip one in. You can get a lot of players right around that 6-yard box.
Will be CJ Salinas standing over the top of this one, two-man wall. And they look like they will pile in towards the back post.
Looks like the option to go square low along the ground will be an option as well, especially with how put together towards the goal line the wall is.
The referee giving a talking to a couple of U.S. Virgin Islands players.
You know, there's just such a battle for limited space in the box when you set up these kinds of dangerous free kick situations.
Free kick. It goes low, and they tried to get it to Brandon Lawson, and they are going to call a penalty. They say Lawson was fouled. That'll be the third penalty won by Ozark United here in this tournament. And they have a quick opportunity to go ahead in the early going here in the 7th minute.
You'd imagine it would either likely be Salinas or Marksberry to take it.
Aukelele Campbell he took the 2 on Thursday evening.
Well, that was my thinking, is that there's really no data on anybody else.
But there was only one man standing at the penalty area, and it's Campbell.
It's interesting to give a keeper a look at somebody who's already taken penalties in this competition, plus the one in the penalty shootout.
Yeah. So he has taken 3. You're correct. He has taken 3. Campbell stands over it. Stutter steps, goes low to the left. And Ozark United has taken an early lead here in Springdale. It is Ozark United 1, the United States Virgin Islands 0.
Well, that stutter step is so dangerous. The keeper having some words after the fact. Everyone trying to settle down the emotions of this match early on, but that stutter step is just so lethal. It can freeze a goalkeeper, and you're just trying to time up your dive one way or another. And that stutter step makes it so difficult, and a coolly placed penalty.
Dylan Ramos a little bit frustrated with that one. But as a reminder, our sponsor for all goals is B-Hydrogen. Transformation your hydrogen routine needs. Because it's 1-0 Ozark United.
We talked about in that Marshall Islands game, sorry to cut you off, Carter, about how much the Marshall Islands needed a goal for confidence to get stuck into the game. Same way for these young players. That one could have gone anywhere.
Almost. A large groan from the Ozark United faithful as that was a very unpredictable bounce. It'll be a corner kick.
But to get the first goal of the game for this very young Ozark United team will just give them so much of a lift, so much confidence heading into the rest of this game that they can stick right with this FIFA nation and U.S. Virgin Islands.
I believe this is Carmelo Rodriguez on this corner kick. Puts his right foot into it, swinging ball, header.
That's Matthew Roth, actually, who took that penalty, or took that corner, I should say. I believe so, at least.
My numbers are a little jumbled up here.
Well, that big hairdo is
I think you would be correct. It is Matthew Roth.
That was a good taken corner as well.
Yeah,
that was put right on that head of the USVI attacker. Sometimes you can be a little bit, not too cute, but trying to be too precise with those headers and place it into a corner. Coaches will sometimes tell you all you need to do in that kind of spot is put it on goal, especially with how many players would be buzzing for the rebound.
Goes out for a throw for the United States Virgin Islands.
Oh, it's dangerous.
That's not a great giveaway. He has Wyatt Marksberry overlapping. On the right wing, it's Aukelele Campbell. And he will bat that one out of play. It will go back to the USVI, but not a good giveaway.
And we should mention, Carter, in case you're doing your back and napkin math, about how USVI has already clinched this Outrigger Challenge Cup. The points involving this team, the Ozark United U19s, do not count towards the final table, since they are not an international side like the other 3 teams competing. A great opportunity for this club to represent the area in which this Outrigger Challenge Cup is being held nonetheless.
It's a great ball up ahead. Wyatt Marksberry, it's a foot race, and Wyatt Marksberry is offsides. A good call by the linesman.
Well, they're not just here to make up the numbers either and provide a 4th team. This team has looked really dangerous. A lead against the FIFA nation. They took another to penalties in Turks and Caicos 2 days ago. Been very, very impressed with this setup for this young, very young, obviously, Ozark United U19 setup.
And they did not just take Turks and Caicos to penalties. They were up 2-0 at half. It was a very dominant 45 minutes from the youngsters from right here in Northwest Arkansas.
I love that this team is able to compete in this competition. It's obviously one in which it's been dominated by the internationals. That's been the headlines, but to have Springdale, to have Northwest Arkansas represented in this competition is such a cool signifier of what this community means to this competition.
It's a high boot there from Tino Lee, and foul is given. Matthew Roth okay, though. Roth boots that one ahead.
And what a cool moment it is for, you mentioned Tino Lee, and part of why it's so interesting that Ozark United gets to play in this is his high school teammates get to come and watch him play against a team whose last matches before this were World Cup qualifying. I mean, that is the kind of level that U.S. Virgin Islands as a team are at, and to be able to represent his high school and his community in this way is really, really special, and obviously not something that gets to happen all that often.
And swinging ball here from Joseph. He hits it to the back post. Ramos got a piece of it, but they will call a foul in the box.
Yeah, the Ozark keeper took a tumble. And whenever there's contact with a keeper, that is going to be a foul just about every time.
Wesley Gebhart had been rather fearless, the young keeper, who has thrown himself into the fray up against a FIFA sanctions nation. Now here's Joseph. Oh, a crunching tackle. And well won by Giovanni Puga, but the USVI will get it back. Puga is still down. Joseph is crossing. Into the back of the net it goes. And the United States of Virgin Islands, they do equalize. It's Naqwan Henry on the receiving end of that one. It is U.S. Virgin Islands 1, Ozark United 1.
Well, it all starts from Joseph along that right side, never losing sight of the ball. And once he was able to pick it up, that little burst of speed that we have seen him utilize all week long. And that's a tidy finish from Joseph, a difficult one too. Given that ball bouncing on the turf, it's been difficult to steady once it takes a bounce on the turf here at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium, but a really solid finish.
Reminder, B-Hydrogen is our sponsor. They're the future of hydration. And there's been a lot of goals here this week. We've been able to give B-Hydrogen quite a few shots as the sponsor of goals here at the Outrigger Challenge Cup. And 2 goals in just under 13 minutes here in Springdale. It's 1-1. A really tidy finish by Naqwan Henry. Puga was still down after the fact. He is up now. On a scalding day in Northwest Arkansas, and as we've said many a time already, that synthetic turf here at Bulldog Stadium is very, very hot. Up ahead, Joshua Ramos calling for a foul, but none is given, and this has already been a very, very physical game here in the 15th minute.
Well, USVI has been trying to impose their physicality. That was something that Turks and Caicos did very well as the game went along, especially into the second half against these young players. You knew the technical side of things would certainly be there for Ozark United, but that was the big question. Could this academy side hold up against grown professional players? Many of them are.
And Joshua Ramos, the Chattanooga Red Wolves in USL 1. A former collegiate player himself here in the States as well.
Hey, you have to be ready for some contact in this one.
That was another hard challenge. Ivan Contreras was trying to get that one out of the defensive half, but they stormed back for a crunching tackle. Throw-in comes to Wyatt Marksberry. Several Ozark players giving chase, and out it goes.
Fascinating to see how high Ozark are pressing whenever they get the ball into the attacking third of the field. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players above the midfield line for Ozark United trying to force a turnover.
Throw up ahead.
That will leave this kind of room, though.
Yeah, Naqwan Henry crossing forward, looking for Joseph. Joseph tucks it away. The offside flag stays down, and it's the United States Virgin Islands 2, Ozark United 1.
Well, we talked just a moment ago about that high press for Ozark United. What does that mean? It means there's room behind them if USVI can pick it out. That's a lovely run from Henry. He just plays off of the shoulder of his defender. And as soon as that ball is released, he knows he has the pace to go and beat his defender. Then Joseph, we talked about him needing one more goal to get himself back into that golden boot race. And it's now 4-4.
He's got 4. What a run from Henry. What a finish from Joseph. And for the third time in 17 minutes, our sponsor is B Hydrogen, the future of hydration. Thank you for sponsoring goals at the Outrigger Challenge Cup here in Springdale, Arkansas. Ben, I think they've gotten their money's worth out of that sponsorship.
No kidding.
Here. 3 goals
well, they've been
in 17 minutes.
We were chatting with them on, what was the first day? Wednesday. We'll get back to that in a second.
And we go back the other way, another just crunching tackle.
You could just tell the passion that they had for this competition, so it's really great to see, and they'll forever now be associated with one of the coolest moments in international soccer in years, Josiah Blanton's first goal for the Marshall Islands. I'll tell you what, I got to go down into the locker room and around the field level where some of the Marshall Islands players were just overcome with emotion. I think the first match obviously meant so very much, but to be able to put in that kind of performance, that kind of solidified and validated so much of the project over the last couple years. To be able to go toe-to-toe with the FIFA Nation, I mean, that was 3-2 Turks and Caicos. That could have gone any which way, that match. And that kind of showed Lloyd Owers, it showed every member of the backroom staff, and it showed the players. Look, we aren't just here to tell a good story. We're here to build something, and that performance really showed that this Marshall Islands team is building something pretty special. Unfortunately, there's a player down now for Ozark.
Yeah, there was a yellow card shown. I believe it was actually shown to Rakeem Joseph. The player down for Ozark is Alan Mendoza.
Yeah, you know, any hard tumble is not going to feel really good on that kind of granular artificial turf. Thankfully, he's back up on his feet.
Yeah, Ozark United staff shouting a few instructions to their back line down here. Ozark can get a decent run of possession here. It's kind of been dominated by Virgin Islands over the last 10 minutes or so.
Well, we knew with this Ozark United team we would see goals. 6 of them in the 90 minutes of play against Turks and Caicos, and again, this wide open game providing even more.
What a first touch by Wyatt Marksberry. He drops it off to Tino Lee. He will then cut it back to Mendoza, down to the middle. Wyatt Marksberry on the edge of the area. He hands it off, and it is a shot that is hooked well to the left, but that is a good run of play. The shot was by Dydder Flores.
A lovely move there from Ozark. 1-2 touch passing. And that got some of the Ozark United coaches up and out of their chair applauding their side's efforts on that move.
What a first touch that was from Wyatt Marksberry, whose father is on the staff of this U19 side. And jostling it goes, and it will be a foul won by Ozark United. They'll take the free kick quickly.
I think a lot of people have recognized the kind of player that Wyatt Marksberry has been this week. I wonder if we won't see him playing at the next level.
Fonseca firing it forward. Both Aukelele and Wyatt Marksberry in the area, but it is won back by USVI. Good job by CJ Salinas, who had that one out of play and stop any sort of momentum from the Virgin Islands. These dashing Eagles are dashing indeed. They lead at 2-1. Here in the 21st minute. Playing Brandon Lawson. Lawson was at right back. Kind of shading towards the center a little bit more, but we were very impressed with him on Thursday evening.
Yeah, he had his hands full trying to defend that Turks and Caicos counter.
I think 1 second. To the middle of Wyatt Marksberry. Back here comes to Dydder Flores, looking for a little chip pass to Wyatt Marksberry. That's a nice run, but cut out.
So difficult to weigh that ball well. Too close and you get it right to the defense, and too far and you don't give your attacker a chance.
You go out for a Ozark throw. Jett Blascka tried to pick that one up and take a quick throw in, maybe get away with one there, but the referee did spot it. It's out to Brandon Lawson. Center back Contreras, he'll swing it back out wide to the left. Dispossessed by Ramos. Jett Blascka up ahead. Ramos, a lot of space in front for Ramos, who has been the chief facilitator. Naqwan Henry tried to chip the keeper there, but a good job by Lawson to get back and prevent a clean shot. It's out for a USVI corner.
What a ball that is from Ramos. I mean, that is inch perfect from the Chattanooga Red Wolves man to find a moving target in Henry. Did not have to check up for that ball much at all, and really good opportunity from USVI. I think that's a cooling break that we will be hitting soon. Actually, first I think they're just talking to the
He's whistling because
behind.
Jett Blascka and Aukelele Campbell are really kind of going at it back here. In-swinging ball comes in and directly to the Ozark keeper, Gebhart.
Well, that was a real opportunity there. There was a dashing eagle making a run that nobody picked up towards the keeper, but well done by Gebhart to get off of his line, and now we'll hit the cooling break.
As Aubin Contreras is fouled, it'll be a free kick to Ozark after we come out of the break. A scorcher of a day here in Springdale, and you know, it's definitely August in Northwest Arkansas, Ben.
You can certainly feel it. It's been hot all week long. I will say that I was chatting with some people with the Marshall Islands Soccer Federation. We all agreed we'd much rather take the heat than any sort of rain or thunderstorms. We've gotten very fortunate with the weather. I'd much rather just take 3 more minutes and deal with the rain than an entire lightning delay. But it has just been a tremendous week here in Northwest Arkansas, no matter the temperature.
Yeah, we have been lucky. The storms kind of have stayed away. There have been a few here and there pop up, but have stayed away from us. But you and I have talked about Joshua Ramos a lot here in these last few days. We kind of both believe he's probably is the best player in this competition. He plays in USL League One. He is so good on the ball. He is a chief facilitator for his side. I mean, we are seeing that already here this afternoon.
and he might perhaps in a couple of years have an opportunity to play in the top level of USL with promotion and relegation starting in, I believe, 2028. So Chattanooga may have an opportunity to get into the top division in a couple of years if Ramos is still there. But, you know, especially if there are clubs watching this competition, there might be some other parties interested in Joshua Ramos in the near future.
He's a very technical, very creative attacking player. And he has been just a thrill to watch here this week. And we'd like to once again thank whoever may be watching, wherever you may be watching. I know we got some Ozark supporters. They did march in from Emma Street on Thursday night, a good handful of them, but I know there's several of you watching out there here this afternoon. And I don't blame you from watching from the nice, cool air conditioning here on this on this Thursday, or on this Saturday, excuse me.
We are very glad to be watching from the shade ourselves, I think.
We can feel the heat kind of popping off this window in here, and you can kind of tell that just how hot it is. And do not blame the entirety of the crowd being in the shade on this near sideline.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame because you can't, with our camera, see how solid the crowd is because we're looking back across the field and the entire crowd is here, kind of underneath where the camera is from your POV. But it is a very solid crowd. We knew that the Marshallese would bring in the best crowds for their games, but plenty of Ozark United fans who have been making the trip and some USVI supporters as well. You just get the sense that these fans of Ozark United are just itching to see their team play in any form or fashion, whether it be the academy level and the senior team getting started in a couple of years. A team to be able to call their own, no matter the age division, is such a point of pride for this community, and that's another reason why it's great to see them in this competition.
Really exciting to get to play against some FIFA nations. They also play another friendly on Monday evening. A lot of soccer being played by...
Is it going to be any cooler on Monday?
That game's I think in the evening, so it'll be a little bit cooler.
Okay.
It's out in Siloam Springs. They'll be playing the John Brown University men's side. Oh, what a touch that is. Up ahead by Alan Mendoza. He decides to pull it back. Switch play up to Brandon Lawson.
Maybe talk about the composure that this U19 level has, playing above their years. That was certainly that from Mendoza, with a player coming right into his personal space.
Ozark United happy to pull this back, slow this down a little bit. Brandon Lawson for a longer ball up ahead. It's laid off to Wyatt Marksberry. Marksberry's got some space. He puts it on the right foot. He shoots across net, and it trickles harmlessly in front of the goal. But what a take that is by Wyatt Marksberry, and what a good possession that is for Ozark United.
Well, it was a really good recovery run by the USVI center back. I believe it was Quinn Farrell to cut off the angle to the player who was making the run back post. So Marksberry really only had one opportunity, and he couldn't quite push it back across. That angle is really tough.
Now very quickly, they try to hit him on the counterattack. It's a foot race between Brandon Lawson and Naqwan Henry, and Brandon Lawson wins the battle.
Well, Henry doesn't lose many of those foot races, does he?
But it will be a corner. Or excuse me. Did it go out off the back? I did not see where they decided to mark it. Maybe just a long throw for the Virgin Islands. Will be taken by Matthew Roth. Long throw from Roth in a very dangerous area, and I think two dashing Eagles ran into each other.
That's smart from Carmelo Rodriguez, though, who was the goal scorer in the opening match, just to play that off the Ozark defender.
Another long throw incoming on that far side with more space. And what a rocket of a long throw, but taken by Wesley Gebhart.
And that is a decent enough corner kick with the kind of pace that one had. That is an absolute cannon. And what a weapon that is for USVI. Especially as the game gets later on, you have to think twice about just booting it out for a throw-in.
1 second pushes this one up. It'll be Wyatt Marksberry on a diagonal run to it, but
How busy has Quinn Farrell been?
USVI very, very busy, kind of sweeping from left to right. Farrell knocks that one away.
Farrell will be used to this kind of heat playing his college soccer at the junior college level for LSU Eunice.
Pretty swampy down there as well.
I believe that was the baseball team that won about 4,000 games in a row, or however many it was.
You were thinking
that's
of
hyperbole,
LSU,
of course.
LSU Shreveport was the NAIA. Yeah, they went fully undefeated at the NAIA level this year.
59-0, yeah, that was LSU Shreveport.
The mighty pilots of LSU Shreveport.
I like that LSU Eunice is the Bengals. It's kind of a playoff of the flagship.
And they all, I believe, all of the LSU schools all do purple and gold as their main colors. So, corner coming from Ramos. They decided to go short to Naqwan Henry. Henry back to Ramos. Ramos, low driving corner. Ozark had a little bit of an issue getting rid of it, but it's cleared away. Now perhaps some space on the counter for Ozark.
Switch right now. Oh, they missed it.
Yeah, they had a chance for it. But they have two players making a run. Played up to Wyatt Marksberry. Marksberry stays on side. Marksberry cannot chip the keeper. His first touch was a little too heavy, but then they do end up calling him offside anyway. Wyatt is pleading his case that he was played on.
That's a great ball in the end. Ozark really was able to make something of that, but there was acres of space along the right if they were able to find the angle.
Matthew Roth on this left sideline. This game has slowed down a little bit as this half has drawn on. 3 goals in the first 20 minutes. We're here in the 32nd minute. Salinas battling with Ramos. Ramos wins that battle. Quinn Farrell out to Jett Blascka. Blascka was very dangerous on Thursday night. A little bit quieter here this afternoon. Flash on the throw. Low cross cut out by Ozark.
Chattanooga has a match today at Texoma, and Ramos opting to be here instead to represent his country. That's what this kind of competition means, and opportunities to represent your nation don't come around all that often. They aren't guaranteed for the future ever. It should be yellow.
There's two players run in.
I think that'll be a yellow card on Mendoza, I believe, here in the 33rd.
Matthew Roth, the long set piece taker here, as the USVI is stacking players towards that back post. Roth bending this ball in, and the player did get to it. But out it goes for a goal kick. Really good ball from Roth. Ozark. Fonseca. Mendoza up ahead, looking for Fonseca. Just a bit too far and corralled by the keeper, Ramos.
Ozark certainly has had the right idea along that left side. The combination has been good. They're just missing that last final piece of the puzzle.
really good tackle by Tino Lee, and you hear some excitement from his high school teammate down on this home side.
Every moment he gets involved in a challenge, you know they'll be loving every bit of it. How rewarding does that have to be for him?
Have your own hype section in the form of your high school team.
We have not had any hype sections.
Well, I guess Ozark did have their.
us.
Ozark did have their small, their little pocket of Ozark supporters on the.
Yeah, you and me did not.
Oh yeah, you and I. I wish we had a hype section.
Talk to Amir St. Clair about what we can do for next time, perhaps. Yeah, that Ozark supporters group was great. They had a little march on over. They were waving the Arkansas flag and the crest flag. You know how cool that had to be for this group of U19ers to be able to know that they were representing the entire club that way.
We have a supporters club other than our parents here today. That's pretty cool. It's 2-1 to the Virgin Islands here in this 36th minute. You can kind of tell the runs are not quite as fast and as hard as they were in the first 20 minutes. This heat probably taking a toll on these players.
Yeah, this is when final 10 minutes of the first half, even if the legs aren't quite necessarily there and you know you have the 15 minutes of halftime to get back, you have to stay so mentally sharp. Defenders have to be tracking back runs. Can't be giving anything away cheaply. I see a card to the bench here. That's the Ozark United side that just picked up a yellow card from the technical staff.
The staff has about 7 people over there, so it could have been any one of them. Not sure what was said.
This game's had a little bit of a bite to it.
Yeah.
And the Ozark penalty.
The Ozark
all the way
penalty,
on
it got a little bit chippy between Aukelele Campbell and Jett Blascka. A little shove from Jett Blascka at one point, but I don't think the referee saw that one.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Shows the competitiveness that this competition has. That shows it means something to these players.
And the Virgin Islands, having already locked up this competition, as from distance, oh my goodness, it hit the back of the net after hitting the field goal. And for a second, I thought that might have hit the back of the net.
Well, when you see Henry tee one up from that long, and then you see the net ripple.
As it was knuckling towards Gebhart, it sails just over the crossbar. Where in the world did that one come from? As this game had grinded down to a pretty slow pace, and Naqwan Henry rips that one out from about 25 yards.
That's a good way to inject a little bit of life back into your team.
You and I both up. Woke his team up as well. That's not a great giveaway from Ozark, but Brandon Lawson, let's slow that down. It goes out off of Henry. Oh, and Wyatt Marksberry takes a high boot. From Carmelo Rodriguez.
He's picked up a yellow in each of the first 2 matches, I believe.
And Wyatt is thankfully okay. Ooh. Just one of those unfortunate things there.
Yeah, there's obviously no intent in that. You're going for the ball as it pops up, and we talked about how unpredictable the hops can be on this turf. Just kind of let the boot get away from him just a bit.
Salinas drops this one back to Brandon Lawson. Mendoza tries to find Marksberry. Marksberry's touch a little heavy, but it will go out off of a Virgin Islands player. Ozark United will switch play here. And tackle is won by Joseph. Now you can see the speed of the dashing Eagles. Joseph dashing ahead. He's battling, and he is going to be fouled. It'll be a free kick. Won by Joseph, and a yellow card seen by Ivan Contreras.
didn't really have much of a choice there. Joseph, if he was able to get around that angle, was going to be in on goal with support coming from Gabriel Cantone-Highfield off to his back post. So that's a professional foul from Mendoza, giving himself up after he knew that Joseph had that little burst of pace to beat him.
And it'll be Joshua Ramos, the very dangerous Joshua Ramos, standing over this. "40 minutes gone here in Springdale in a 3-man wall for Ozark. Well, these teams are just jostling for position. And they're getting a little chippy here in the box. Referee having to step in.
Cooler heads need to prevail here. Looks like it's Joseph who the teammates are trying to make sure isn't putting himself in a position, especially since Joseph is the one on a yellow, where he could see another yellow, and that would completely change the complexion of this game. Joseph and Mendoza for Ozark are the two who really need to be careful, already on a yellow card. Especially with how open this game has already been. If either team is reduced to 10, that would really be difficult to come back from. Especially if you're U.S. Virgin Islands, you give up the early penalty, you come back, you have a solid hold on this game, you're in the driver's seat. You cannot have a player sent off and allow Ozark back into it.
Ramos on the ball. A 3-man wall for Ozark. Crossing it in. And nothing doing for USVI. They did get a boot to it, but Ramos is off of his line. It is headed back. And the Virgin Islands will go again. On ball up ahead to Joseph. Back to Ramos. They look to play a 1-2. Instead, he tries to play it much further forward.
No, Ramos was saying that he was held, and that's why he didn't get there.
Referee will need to most certainly have a strong grasp on this game in the second half. It's gotten a little bit chippy. A few players have been held, had the early penalty, in which Brandon Lawson was fouled. These 90-plus degree days tend to tend to have that effect. But you do love seeing the Virgin Islands really play this with everything they have, given they've already got this competition locked up after beating the two international sides.
And they haven't taken their foot off the gas at all.
Absolutely not. We almost wondered if we would see Ramos this afternoon. You wondered if he, after playing 2 full games, they might give him the afternoon off. Long ball up ahead. Really well won. Back to Ozark, though. Looking for Tino Lee. Can Tino keep it in? He cannot.
That's another good idea, though, from Ozark United. The space is there along the wings. USVI pinching their defense a bit to make sure that Marksberry can't make that central run, but that will mean that there's room on the periphery.
It is harder to play super wide on this football field, American football field, I should say. And they try to boot it up to Matthew Roth.
It's been interesting to see how the teams have adjusted to that turf, because pinging it like that and taking one bounce right in front of the player won't have quite as much success on this turf where the ball will bounce more than usual.
CJ Salinas up ahead to Wyatt Marksberry. Marksberry's got some space in front of him. He tried to nutmeg the pass, and a soft shot there is held by the keeper, Ramos, but that is a really good idea. Dydder Flores just did not quite get the pace on it that he wanted.
Again, just more time and space on the ball for Marksberry, though. I think Flores probably could have taken a touch there. You'll never fault a striker for going and hitting it first time when you're that close up.
We are near the end of the first 45. Matthew Roth trying to play it forward to Ramos, but nothing doing. So we enter stoppage time here in the first half. 3 goals in the first few minutes, so we'll have a few minutes of stoppage time here. This ball is up ahead. He's looking for Tino Lee on the backside, but nothing doing. I will say I am very impressed with the energy and the pace of Wyatt Marksberry. Still pressing forward after 45 minutes on a very hot day.
Well, not to say that temperatures don't get like this in the USVI either, but perhaps an advantage for the Ozark players that they know exactly what this specific kind of heat and humidity combo is, given that they're local players.
As the referee blows for halftime, a frantic first 20 minutes here in this final match of the 2025 Outrigger Challenge Cup. It is U.S. Virgin Islands 2, Ozark United U19 1. And Ben, before we take a break, what are your thoughts on that first half?
I think both teams are doing, especially towards the back half of this first half, a better job at limiting the opposition's main weapons for the USVI. That's Ramos and Henry and Joseph. And Ozark United, especially after that second goal, did a better job of keeping all three in front of them and making sure that they couldn't get over the top. On the other side, Marksberry's had his fair share of chances, but USVI has done a good job of making sure that he hasn't had golden opportunities, either him or CJ Salinas, in the run of play. So I think those are the big battles to keep an eye on in the second. Which team's main players are going to have any sort of time and space to operate in the second, especially with Ozark United's players chasing the game.
The Dashing Eagles of the United States Virgin Islands lead it 2-1. We will take just a little bit of a break here on a really hot day in Springdale, Arkansas. Carter Henson here with Ben Curtis. We'll be right back in. Back inside Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium here in a scorching Springdale, Arkansas. Carter Henson joined by Ben Curtis. Ben, we got 45 minutes left here of the 2025 Outrigger Challenge Cup. It has really been a historic week for international soccer. The United States Virgin Islands lead Ozark United U19 2-1 after it was a very frantic first 20 minutes, and then it kind of slowed down there in that first half. What are you looking for in this half?
I'm looking to see how high Ozark United U19's line is going to be, because they will have to push up as this match goes along, especially if the scoreline stays as it is in the second half. But there are players for USVI who are as pacey as any as we've seen this entire competition. Looking at Rakeem Joseph, looking at Naqwan Henry specifically, if the two of them are able to force the Ozark United defensive line higher and higher, they can hit them on the counter and go right past them. So it'll be an interesting kind of gamble for Dean Johnson and this Ozark United coaching staff, because they are going to have to eventually take some more risks. But if that defensive offside line gets higher and higher, it could be some real opportunities for Joseph and Henry.
And I'm really interested to see what they do with Wyatt Marksberry here in this second half. In the second half of their game against Turks and Caicos, he went from playing on the right side to playing on the left, and then was very well neutralized in the second half of that one. But Wyatt Marksberry, very, very dangerous for this Ozark United U19 side, as is Aukelele Campbell, who has 3 goals here in this tournament. Of course, all 3 of them on penalties, but he is 3 for 3 on his PKs, really 4 for 4 on his PKs, as he did take one as well in that penalty shootout. But anyone else on the Ozark side you're looking forward to looking at to make a difference here in the second half?
I thought Tino Lee was pushing higher up than we saw him against Turks and Caicos along that right wing, and it could give an option to talk about that defensive line for OZFC if they could just leave their center backs back and leave at least their wing backs to push a little bit further up first over the first part of this second half, and then if they're still trailing, everyone will continue to take that higher line. But if Lee can get pushed up along the wings, that can allow a couple of players to stay home defensively and neutralize that USVI counter.
A decent crowd on hand here in Springdale, Arkansas. It is a very hot afternoon as we are just set to kick off this second half after just after 5 p.m. local time. No matter where you may be, we appreciate you tuning in here for this Outrigger Cup, powered by Spiideo, our broadcast.
And they've been super helpful with us this entire week, getting everything set up. Appreciate all of their support, helping us be able to bring this to you from anywhere in the world that you might be watching. Know that we have plenty from the UK who are watching, especially today. I know the time difference works out a little bit better today.
Yeah, it wasn't the middle of the night like that Marshallese match was the other night.
If you stayed up for that one, though, you get to say that you were part of history from afar.
As Joshua Ramos set to kick off for the United States Virgin Islands, underway here in this second half.
Cannot wait to see some of the scenes from back in the Marshall Islands from those goals.
And Henry firing at the far post. And out of nowhere, they were looked to attack early on in this second half. Naqwan Henry already with 1 goal to his name this afternoon.
Well, all that we were talking about with OZFC having to take some chances and when do you push higher and higher up, if USVI can grab another goal here quickly in the second half, that just totally changes the entire complexion.
Dydder Flores to Wyatt Marksberry. Marksberry on the ball. He's got 3 blue jerseys around him. He goes back outside to Flores. Quick 1-2. Marksberry cannot get to this one, and it is out over the back.
Every run for Wyatt Marksberry has been with intention. Rarely has he moved without being able to show for the ball or drag a defender with him. You could tell he's a coach's son.
Yeah, very impressed just how cool and calm he is. He had 3 blue jerseys around him. Impressive that, I was trying to say, would be very impressive if Jett Blascka had kept that in, but the linesman does say that it goes out over the touchline. Like that captain armband has been transferred from Isiah Fonseca to Contreras. And Alex Breton has subbed on for Ozark United. Well, that one goes for a USVI throw. You know, we really haven't called Jett Blascka's name quite as much here in the early going. It was very much a factor on Thursday evening.
Well, a lot of that is thanks to the back line of Ozark United. Mendoza has really made himself known. So too has Contreras.
Well cut out, but it does go to Matthew Roth. Farrell looking long. Touched by Breton. He brings it down. Pushed up ahead. Aukelele Campbell on the left side of the area. Crossing over. And unable to whip a cross in there. And Jett Blascka very much takes care of that. Campbell fouls the USVI player there.
I think that USVI knew how to defend that because that looked awfully similar to the moves that Ramos puts on along that left side of the end line. See that in training quite a bit, I'm sure, in the USVI camp.
To take the long free kick up to Ramos. Cantone-Highfield. Here's Rakeem Joseph. Blascka weaving his way through one, weaving his way through two, and he is then fouled by the third, and what a job that was by Jett Blascka.
I counted
free kick.
At least 3 defenders that he was able to slalom his way through.
You heard me saying we hadn't seen much of him. Might have cast or cursed that one, and it'll be a free kick. Joshua Ramos. This is when it has kind of gotten a little bit chippy between these two teams, is when they're jostling for position. Oh, what a beautiful ball that is. The header is won, but Joseph cannot put it away. He got his head to it.
Well, part of why that is so advantageous for a right-footed striker to take that is because he can put that whip on it that goes away from the keeper. So you initially come out as a keeper, and then you can kind of be caught in no man's land, and a golden opportunity for USVI.
Rakeem Joseph could have etched his name as the highest goal scorer, a title that he currently shares. Unable to get on top of that one. Mateo Gomez Soto. Won by Ramos. Quick turn from Ramos. To Naqwan Henry. And then Henry is fouled, and I think there may be a card involved here. And there is.
That's Gomez Soto. This is another one that Ramos will really like his opportunity to cause some danger with. Joseph is going to start his run from really far.
Yeah.
Edge of the 18-yard box towards the back post, a long way from goal.
On the left side here, they're going to give it to Matthew Roth. This guy stacking. Oh, and he was, it looked to be that Joseph was going to have a header there, and then he slipped on the plant foot. Gebhart punches it away, and Ozark may have caught a little bit of a break there. Joseph got free.
Well, Gebhart didn't really get it away convincingly either. That's one that I think even he was surprised got all the way to him, and I don't know how late he saw it.
I don't know if he was anticipating a jump there, and then one never came, or what happened. But it is a USVI throw. They'll go long into the box. Gebhart comes out, hits the turf, but the ball just go away without issue. Teams are getting just a little bit chippy.
CJ Salinas wasn't happy that Joseph was standing over the ball.
It's a great ball up from Marksberry. Spiideo Campbell tries to turn and fire a shot, but it is body blocked by the USVI defender. Ozark looking to go quickly here. Throwing comes to Marksberry. A long ball up ahead. Looking for Cantone-Highfield, but Ozark takes care of the trouble.
Cantone-Highfield's been impressive off the bench this week. Had that 4th goal against the Marshall Islands on Thursday night.
CJ Salinas tries to play the long ball up to Dydder Flores, but once again cut out. These teams kind of just trading intercepted passes at the midfield.
All this suits USVI much better.
I did miss. Malachi Cowan has subbed in on that far side for Ozark United. Lawson jumped for that one, was not able to get to it. Ivan Contreras. Oh, it stays in with Ramos. Ramos looking dangerous, and he is fouled on the edge of the box, and that will be a free kick. Almost like a short corner kind of free kick.
And these are difficult just outside of the 18, but from a very wide angle. You have to chip it up, but you have to put enough air underneath it to give your guys a chance to have time to go up and head it.
Joshua Ramos starting to really impose his will on this game.
And this is far too sharp of an angle for a shot, you'd think.
Well, I've seen Joshua Ramos do some incredible things this week. I don't think I put anything past him. He decides to go out to Naqwan Henry, who goes from distance. And Naqwan Henry sails that one over the crossbar. I really like that idea from the United States Virgin Islands.
When you have multiple dangerous weapons like the USVI do, including Joseph and Henry, it just makes it so difficult to be able to cover every base, if you will. So they were able to defend from that traditional cross service, and they leave Henry open. That's a really good opportunity for Henry.
Wyatt Marksberry. And Wyatt is fouled, and a yellow card seen by Matthew Roth.
It's the 6th yellow card of the match already. Just to give you a sense of how physical this has been and how much the referee has had to get involved.
Been a chippy one thus far.
Now 3 on either team.
It's Mateo Gomez Soto with the left foot here on this free kick. Danger cut out. Gomez battling, and then he is fouled, and yellow shown again, so the 7th yellow card, and I believe that one is on Gomez Soto. 7 yellow cards in the 56th minute. And what has been a physical, just slugfest of a match.
Unfortunately, there's a player down as well for USVI, it looks like.
Players stacked around. I can't see the jersey number here.
Those are always dangerous when a player kind of leaning down gets into a collision. Obviously, the thing you're most worried about is a head injury.
It's Cantone-Highfield, who is now walking with the physio off under his own power.
Yeah, really good to see him be able to go off on his own there.
Ball played up to Roth. Boom ball looking for Joseph. CJ Salinas, a lot of space in front of him. Trying to play this one long up to Aukelele. Crossing, whipping a shot in! What a finish! That is by Aukelele Campbell. His 4th goal of the tournament, a bender to the back post, and it is Ozark United 2, US Virgin Islands 2.
Well, it all starts on the beautiful ball from CJ Salinas outside of the foot to have it tail away from the USVI defender. And then that is just absolutely class. Enough time to cut it back towards the center of the box and pick out that top corner.
What a finish, his 4th. First 3 coming on penalties. No doubt in the class of that finish. Our sponsor is Be Hydrogen, the sponsor of goals for our tournament. They are the future of hydration. Thank you to Be Hydrogen. And 2-2 it stands here in the 59th minute at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. Ozark United feeling some energy now. And a late hit. I didn't even see it. It was,
yeah, that was Henry.
Henry laying into the keeper, Gebhart. And he will see yellow. Gebhart is still down.
That's now both Henry and Joseph, two of the big top attackers for USVI, who are in the book now.
Yeah, I heard the fan reaction before I
he clattered into him.
Even saw Gebhart down. I've already lost count. Is that yellow card 8 this afternoon? The temperature is high and the tempers are high. And Henry is still yelling at the Ozark players down there.
Yeah, referee needs to get a bit of a control of this game just a bit more.
Gebhart is up and okay.
There's half the players on the field in the book right now. Would imagine that will lead to some more substitutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 yellow cards now.
Ozark United getting the true physical CONCACAF experience here on this Saturday afternoon.
The referee is quite a bit to sort out here. In Henry's case is like, I'm going for the ball, but it's the keeper who's got the right of way there, and if you clatter into him, you're going to see a yellow card. Now it's Salinas who's trying to get some sort of explanation.
Ozark might have been wanting more than a yellow there. Of course, I didn't even see the foul. I was watching the ball. I just heard the parent and fan reaction. Ozark, feel a little bit of energy here. Back to Brandon Lawson. Gomez Soto. They look for Marksberry up on this right wing, and that's a little too heavy. A little too far ahead, and out it goes for a throw.
A couple of substitutions for Ozark, 2 of them. That's it for Mendoza and Salinas.
Number 16 for Ozark, Mitch Stone. Subs on, and unfortunately number 9 for Ozark, who was not listed on the team sheet. So he will unfortunately be known as number 9.
Great to see Mitch Stone into the fray, though. Another player who can provide some attacking force. And another one of the high school teammates of Wyatt Marksberry at Bentonville High.
Bentonville High going to be a little stacked this year, I'm going to say. Knocked away by USVI. But a throw incoming for Alex Breton. Gomez Soto. And shown back to Giovanni Puga. It's out to Brandon Lawson. This is looking kind of promising for Ozark. Creating a lot of space. Lawson. They go out wide. Malachi Cowan. Cowan crossing, looking for Stone, but it flutters harmlessly through the box.
Pretty crisp move, though, from Ozark U19s.
Such is a little too heavy. Ozark will retain possession here. Gomez Soto. Crisp is, that's about how I would describe it. Very calm from the youngsters from Northwest Arkansas. That one is laid off. And nothing doing. There's Ramos, who has played a lot of soccer this week. Wyatt Marksberry is fouled. We'll see if this one shows yellow. I think that might just be considered a foul, but we will see. It was Ramesses McGinnis.
This is a very interesting option for a left foot here. The player can run onto it and just kind of nod it along. Don't need too much on a header from across from this kind of proximity to the goal.
Gomez Soto, one of the players over it, and then the number 9 for Ozark. Gomez Soto takes a deflection and out for a corner.
Yeah, these corners, wouldn't be surprised if Ozark goes short. There you go.
Gomez Soto, left-footed, another deflection and another corner. This time on the opposite side for Ozark FC.
I like the short corner options for a U19 side in which you won't necessarily have the height advantage at every position. If you're able to change the angle to give it a little bit more of a better look for a player to take a shot, I think that's what Ozark United will do at least some of these corners.
Gomez Soto again, driven low. Back out to Malachi Cowan at midfield. Answer Brandon Lawson. Lawson to Stone, back to Cowan. They dummy it through to Stone. Marked by Jett Blascka. Out on the edge to Wyatt Marksberry, and his pass is cut out. Henry wants possession there. Not a lot of support here for USVI. He'll have to hold up play.
That's smart, patient from Henry.
USVI played on the back foot there for quite some time. Didn't have any players to really throw themselves into the attack. Now Matthew Roth with a lot of space. But good defense by Ozark United. Now can a counterattack for him here. It's Wyatt Marksberry. Marksberry on the right foot, looking for space, looking for a cross, and it sails harmlessly away from the net and out for a corner. They say it takes a deflection.
I think that just knocked off the outside of the leg of one of the USVI defenders, and so that would lead to the corner. I think USVI is going to make a change here first. It's interesting to see changes be made just before set pieces. You have to come on into the game, and your first bit of defending to do is a corner. You have to make sure you get the communication about your assignment exactly right.
The Axel Bartz checking in for United States Virgin Islands. Corner incoming for OZFC. Headed away. Wyatt Marksberry on the edge of the area. Gomez Soto, and it takes another bounce out and another Ozark FC corner.
It was smart to get it over to the right because Marksberry and Soto had a 2-on-1 there, so the USVI defender had to make a decision on which player to mark. And in the end, you get another set piece out of it.
Ozark United, you have to assume at some point one of these corners is going to amount to something. Gomez Soto stands over the top of this one with the left foot once again. Whips this one in. This is promising, but it sails after being headed out by a USVI player. Sails out of the box. You can tell some tired legs on both sides here. But The majority of the pressure in this second half has come from Ozark. Looking deep for Stone. Stone did get ahead to it, but went to nobody. Jett Blascka looking up ahead, looking for Joseph. And that is not a great touch from Gebhart, and out it goes for a corner.
That's so tough for a keeper, knowing you can't play that with your hands.
Yeah, just an
because
awkward,
of the back pass.
Awkward in between, kind of bounce off of the back pass, and just a little bit unlucky for Wesley Gebhart, who has done a really excellent job today.
You can't really tag him for either of those goals.
Here's Joseph. And a really well-won challenge there. It goes back to Jett Blascka. And Lawson skies ahead for that header. A player we have just been so impressed with in Ozark United's 2 matches.
Oh, Henry was calling for it, and he had the angle.
I got Joshua Ramos also calling for it on this right wing. Nice little Barch, back to Matthew Roth. Barch has a little bit of space. We haven't seen him much. To Henry. Like Ramos is just going to have a go for it with the left foot, but it did take a deflection.
Might have been off of his own teammate.
And Gebhart, maybe a little bit of a break there that Ramos wasn't able to get a full shot on that after the deflection. Here's Barsh. Stone working, trying to cut that out. They also have Wyatt Marksberry in the area pressuring. This high press for Ozark has resulted in a 2-2 score line as we enter the 72nd minute here at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. That one is boomed up ahead. Could be dangerous for the Virgin Islands. A good first save from Gebhart. Ball is still in the area, and Henry sends that one into the parking lot.
Down to the second row of the parking lot as well. That's a difficult half volley for Joseph, who's on the run, having to shoot back across his body.
And a hydration break, well needed by these players here on this muggy Saturday afternoon.
I mean, it is grueling enough to play either 2 or 3 matches of soccer in the span of as few days as these players are doing it, but to do so in this kind of heat, absolutely brutal.
A 2-2 is how it stands, and man, if you're Ozark United FC, you have to be pretty thrilled. I mean, you're 2-2 with another FIFA sanctioned nation. You have a USL League One player on the other side. You have a good handful of other players who have all played collegiately. Got to be pretty satisfied with that.
Yeah, they're more than holding their own right now. They have been really into this second half, especially. I like the adjustments that they've made with Marksberry just dropping off the high line of the defense a little bit, kind of playing in those little pockets of space. He's given a lot of freedom to go and find those little pockets of space, regardless of which side of the field they're on. And it's paid some dividends for them.
You see, this coaching staff has given him just a lot of creative freedom to kind of fill space where he feels that he can. Always good to have a creative playmaker like that. Thursday night, he won a penalty and scored his own goal. And some cowbells from the Ozark United faithful making their appearance for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, it seems as if the fans have had a bit of a grueling day as well, not necessarily as in fine voice as they were on Thursday, but you can be forgiven for trying to just make sure you keep yourself hydrated and stuck into the game.
Yeah, pretty good. There really is a pretty decent crowd on hand. They're just wisely hiding in the shade.
Like we would do any different, yeah.
As we are wisely hiding in the air-conditioned press box. back underway.
Seems like all of the second balls going to USVI right now, Carter.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a height advantage for the United States Virgin Islands, which, you know, that's very understandable. A bunch of players who have played collegiately, and several that much older than this U19 side. Ball comes out to Brandon Lawson, heavily pressured by Ramos. Up ahead to Mitch Stone. Trying to release Wyatt Marksberry up top. Foot race for Marksberry is well defended. Dropped into Marksberry. Marksberry crossing, he's got somebody on the back post, and they were not able to get it to fall.
That was Mason Saffel.
Saffel, who has freshly checked on, and if he had one more step in him, might have been able to get on the end of that Wyatt Marksberry cross. It had a little bit of malice to it.
What a vision, though, from Wyatt Marksberry to be able to see that pass and was nearly able to put it right on the spot for him.
Just a lot of positives from Wyatt Marksberry in this tournament. Now McGinnis on the half volley smashes that one through the football uprights. And it will be a goal kick for Wesley Gebhart. The USVI they're playing a little bit higher up now. Looks like they were maybe waiting out Ozark a little bit. Ozark FC look to play out the back. That ball from Aukelele was cut out. Jett Blascka. Naqwan Henry battling with Lawson. Brandon Lawson wins that battle. Now Stone may have a little bit of space in front of him. Pushes it up ahead, and what a hard left shoulder challenge that is. Out for a throw, no foul given. Welcome to CONCACAF. It's a great ball up ahead, and the referee's flag is up for offsides. A really good idea from Ramos' McGinnis.
It's an important touch for Farrell. That nearly got behind him.
Paituli Campbell had a very nonchalant flick on, trying to find Mitch Stone behind him. It was a really excellently defended touch. There's nobody at the Springdale Bulldog logo to take this loose ball. None of these USVI through balls are just finding their intended target. Ozark has really swarmed defensively. They filled all those passing lanes. Naqwan Henry hands off to Ramos. Ramos looking. Working the way back. Still Henry again. Henry might have a go from distance, and with the left foot, he does indeed. But nothing doing. I think he is wanting to be subbed off.
Well, he's put in a shift. Another one. But yeah, he is a player who has not had to be asked twice to shoot, and it's really unfortunate that he looks to be in some amount of pain because he has been such an exciting player to watch.
He smashed home a goal in that first half.
Thankfully, back up to his feet. And if this is it for Henry for the week, I mean, what an exciting player he has been to watch.
Two to two here in this 79th minute. Henry walking off of the pitch. And he has been so fun to watch here in these 3 games for the United States Virgin Islands.
Yeah, also, if you're thinking ahead, obviously unfortunate for Henry just to pick up a knock and primarily hope he's okay, but if you're thinking beyond that from with the on-the-field side of things, that's one of your best attackers off for the next 11 minutes and perhaps for a penalty as well. If you're thinking about who to take those for USVI.
I'd like to see a winner in this one. I don't know that I want to see another penalty shootout. I'd like to see somebody find a winner in this remaining 11 minutes plus stoppage time.
Well, we've seen late equalizers. We haven't seen a late winner yet.
That's true. And I think we're due for that one, Ben. All up ahead, looking for Yannick Elazzi.
Chris Turks and Caicos thought they had the late winner, then
Yeah,
the even
that's
later
true.
Ozark United equalizer.
That's true. That game was just utter chaos on Thursday evening. Great job by Stone to win that one. That one is boomed up ahead, but nothing doing. As Mason Saffel unable to get to it. 80 minutes gone here at Jarrell Williams Bulldog Stadium. And 10 plus stoppage time for this final match of what has been a delightful week of soccer here in Springdale. Players getting to enjoy these international matches before heading back to clubs or some heading back to school. The Ozark United team, really their preseason. Up ahead to Aukelele Paluski-Campbell. Finding Wyatt Marksberry on the wing. Marksberry on the left foot, crossing over. Marksberry creates some space, puts a header towards the back post. It does stay in play, at least temporarily, and then it is checked out by Jett Blascka, who says it went out off of an Ozark player. I believe they might rule this a...
It should be a USVI throw.
Okay. Referee was almost looked like he was motioning that it was a goal kick, that Marksberry's Marksberry's ball went out the back. Brandon Lawson might get in trouble for that one as he just booted it away from the USVI player. Free kick to USVI. Up ahead, there are two players who are by themselves, but
they took the free kick too quickly, I think, Carter. I don't think the referee was ready, and I think he might have stolen a couple yards of space, so that's why we'll have to do it again.
Ramos holding up play, and we'll go back to Blascka. Jett Blascka, formerly of Marquette. He's played some professional soccer in a few different places. That'll be Ramos over this one again. Another long free kick. USVI stacking bodies. They do have a much bigger presence in Axel Barsh, who checked in earlier in this half. High looping ball goes through the hands of Gebhart, and that'll be a USVI corner kick. The Dashing Eagles look to take it quickly. There's Roth. Roth bending with the right foot. That finds the back of the net. A wonder goal from Matthew Roth. He curls it in. What a finish from Roth, and it's Virgin Islands 3, Ozark United U19 2. Wow, what a finish.
Well, a goal deserving to win this game if it is going to be the one to decide it. Matthew Roth has been dangerous along the wings all week long. And what an absolute screamer to potentially decide this one.
A bender to the back post. And just as they did on Thursday, Ozark will have to find a late equalizer. It's 3-2 to the United States Virgin Islands. And once again, our goals are sponsored by B Hydrogen. They are the future of hydration. Wow, what a strike from Roth. The 20-year-old United States Virgin Islands. 3-2 USVI, and he hit the CU in front of his teammates, and I feel like that goal was deserving of it.
Yeah, it's not one you can break out for any just goal, but
that one was worth it. Now USVI looking to add a fourth. Pushing this one forward to Elizee. Elizee on the left boot. Elizee looking to cross. Good job by Benson.
And you can see immediately the difference once the USVI has the lead. Jett Blascka, when it's 2-2, would be coming around for an overlap there, trying to get forward. Now the right back staying home, trying to protect that 3-2 lead. That's smart from the Manchester 62 product. Manchester 62, by the way, in Gibraltar, named after Manchester United. They were formed in 1962.
A little bit of space for Marksberry. Marksberry's through ball a bit too heavy.
And Matt Busby, Sir Matt Busby, I should say, who was the legendary Manchester United manager, gave the club in Gibraltar permission to use the name. They can theoretically meet in the same competition now that the Gibraltar Football League, the last 10 years or so, has qualifying rounds for the Europa League and theoretically the Champions League.
In theory,
the broadcaster's worst nightmare.
Did they need permission to be named Manchester 62, given that that is just a city? Did FC United of Manchester also receive the same permission?
Well, I would think probably not, because that's the Phoenix club from unhappy supporters of Manchester United. But there have been some clubs in South America that have taken similar names to European clubs.
Probably some historians, some football historians just rolling their eyes at the questions I'm asking, but that's okay. Get a long free kick here. Gomez Soto, that ball's got a little bit of malice to it, but the keeper Ramos does an excellent job to get up to it.
Probably the most famous version of the South American clubs is Barcelona Sporting Club, which is in Ecuador, is just named after FC Barcelona. There's also Arsenal de Sarandí, which is I believe in Argentina, and named after, of course, the very famous Arsenal Football Club in London.
Now up ahead. The Virgin Islands have something here, but player slipped. And nothing comes of that one.
Except a yellow card.
Alfred Harris just could not get his feet underneath him there. As we approach the 88th minute here in Springdale. Does Ozark United have something left in the tank? Anything left in the legs, find themselves a late equalizer. 5 goals to split the two sides here. Through ball cut out. Axel Barsh.
Very interesting to see who the player of the tournament will be. You'd imagine it will be from the team that's going to hoist the trophy in the U.S. Virgin Islands. A couple options with Ramos having so many goal contributions, you should say, but Joseph, who has gotten the 4 goals to help lead the tournament.
United States, Virgin Islands.
Well, as soon as we say that, we have confirmation it's going to be Rakeem Joseph.
Well deserved, utterly well deserved.
Our coordinating staff reading my mind. There's no way that they were listening to the stream and were able to get that to me just as quickly.
We enter the 89th minute. United States, Virgin Islands, happy to slow this down. And Ozark pile some bodies forward here and give themselves an opportunity. Here's Benson.
Now is really when you have to start rolling the dice. If you're Ozark, it will leave space in the back, but you have to push that line higher.
Have to try at this point. USVI out for a USVI throw, and they're going to take their sweet time getting over to this ball. What a touch that is. Up ahead. USVI might be hunting for a fourth here. Ellisy. How's that one cut out? Up ahead. Oh, Jett Blascka. What a cut that is. Looking to... Oh, and he just had too heavy of a touch. Couldn't get around it or cross it in. As we are close to the 90th, to completing 90 minutes here. And rebend, they got to roll the dice. Boomed up ahead, but well held by Ramos, the keeper, and we are at 90 minutes. And multiple players down stretching it out.
You know, this will add more time on for stoppage time, but right now I'm just worried about the player in the center of the park for USVI. Looks like Ramos, the keeper's down as well.
It is Carmelo Rodriguez wearing the captain's armband who is down. Ramos, the keeper, is down. Brandon Lawson on Ozark, he is trying to stretch himself out.
It's just unforgiving conditions right now.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, nearly everybody is back up on their feet, and everyone is. That's certainly a good sign.
Ozark United, they got to press it forward. Can Wyatt Marksberry keep this in? Doesn't matter, it's out for an Ozark throw. I'll take it quickly. It's up ahead. He finds Aukelele Campbell. Trying to make some space to get a cross in. And it will go out for an Ozark United FC throw. And OZ can pile it forward.
Crowd starting to get involved as well.
Opportunity to equalize here in stoppage time. This could be the last kick of the match.
Lawson's going to go forward.
Cross comes in, and it is well headed away by the United States Virgin Islands. Cross. Aukelele Campbell has an opportunity to equalize from outside the area and just skies it. Tried it on the half volley.
That's such a difficult skill from Aukelele.
So hard.
Had to shoot that through traffic as well. And even though you do just want to hit the target, subconsciously you're thinking about getting around that traffic. Just leaned back a little bit too much, couldn't quite get it over the ball.
This couldn't be it. To the U.S. Virgin Islands out of fourth here. A little bit of space, chipped around the keeper, and it will trickle home. And that is a formality. It is 4-2 to the U.S. Virgin Islands, the champions of the Outrigger Cup. And they rightfully, deservedly get a fourth.
Oh, just an opportunity to put a crowning cap on this 2025 Outrigger Challenge Cup. A fourth goal to just really seal the deal. That's Connor Bass.
It was, Connor Bass who able to chip it around the keeper. And that is how